打开西方媒体，你永远看不到中国真实的样子。但这两个英国人只用一段旅行视频，就让那些精心编造的叙事裂开了一道口子。
First, are we paid by the Chinese government?
The answer is obviously not. The amount of people that comment on every single one of our YouTube videos, Instagram videos, saying you must be paid by the Chinese Communist Party.
为什么要专门澄清？因为今天在海外平台上夸中国已经变成了一件需要自证清白的事儿。你说一句好，就有人追着问你收了多少钱。这种逻辑强到已经离谱到，你说新疆美，他说你收钱；你说高铁快，他说你收钱。你就算说句今天天气不错，他都想质问你是不是买通了气象局。
That aside, the first thing we want to talk about is the people of China, because there's a bit of a stigma and a stereotype.
他们出发前听到的版本和落地后亲眼见到的完全是两个世界。在深圳那个被称作中国硅谷的地方，他们想尝试用无人机送外卖，还没弄明白机器怎么操作，身边已经围上来两个陌生人主动帮忙。
And not one, but two different locals came over to us, asked us if we needed any help. One of them then ended up buying us our coffees from this machine.
注意看他们脸上的表情，那是一种被陌生人的善意砸中之后的惊喜。这位英国小哥说了句掏心窝子的话，如果这是在英国火车站，你盯着车票发愁，大概要等很久才会有人搭理你。但在中国，人们几乎是立刻围上来，掏出翻译器问你怎么了。一位环游世界50年的网友在评论区留言说，这个国家的人不仅友好，他们是真正的在乎你。
English, it's another stigma that like no Chinese people can speak English, like it's just not true.
What is your name?
My name is Liu.
Yes, English is
Not
limited,
widely spoken,
but people can.
这句话戳破了一层窗户纸，一群老外跑到中国抱怨这儿的人不说英语。那反过来，如果中国游客去英国、去美国抱怨那儿的人不说中文，你们会怎么想？这种心态背后是一种藏得很深的傲慢，觉得全世界都应该为你的到来准备好你的语言。但中国人压根儿不跟你计较这个。
And not just that, people are kind of like ready to translate for you.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, it's not kind of like, oh, like, here we go, they can't speak Chinese. They're like there with their phones, ready to translate.
这就是刻在中国人骨子里的待客之道，有朋自远方来，不亦乐乎。能不能交流是其次，先让你吃上这口热乎饭，先让你别在街头犯难。这种不问来处先伸把手的态度，比任何宣传都管用。
Food in the UK.
But what we mean by that is Chinese food in the UK is different to Chinese food in China.
Yeah, Chinese takeaways are.
这句话值得把保护打在公屏上。海外那些左宗棠鸡、酸甜咕滴肉，到了四川，估计当场就得被要求重新投胎。不过他们也坦诚，一开始确实有个适应期。
Might be a bit of a controversial one, but it actually took me and Eve a little bit of time to get on board with Chinese food. We didn't actually.
别急着反驳，这俩人不是在挑食，他们在孟加拉和伊拉克的街头都吃过，肠胃是经过战地考验的。真正让他们犹豫的是什么？
And see a broth bubbling away, but it's the not knowing. So you'll see parts of an animal in there that we typically don't eat at home, like offal or some sort of tentacles or like a chicken foot or something like that.
这是每一个初到异国的人都会经历的心理门槛。面对陌生的食材，第一反应不是真香，而是这是啥？能吃吗？怎么吃？但一旦跨过那道坎，他们就彻底被征服了。
Is that the street food in China, even from our first day when we went to the street food market in Shenzhen, was really good.
Nobody talks about Chinese street food.
科普一个冷知识，你可以永远相信中国大爷大妈的夜摊，那些黑乎乎的砂锅、冒热气的铁板，熬着熬着就打开了你的唾液腺。而真正的降维打击发生在四川。
We love the food.
Oh my god, Sichuan. Sichuan food is like my absolute favorite. Not just in China, but globally. Like the mala spice, like the numbing tingliness.
麻是舌头上的按摩，辣是食道里的蹦极。川菜不是单纯的加热，是物理攻击加魔法伤害的复合体验。他们把火锅吃出了一种仪式感，甚至养成了习惯。
I would say I really loved was a cheeky Haidilao.
Yeah, we got into this
became
weird.
a little thing.
We were like, oh, we felt a little bit cheeky, a little bit naughty. We take ourselves down.
看到这儿，我直接笑了。这哪是什么小节目，这就是每个中国大学生的周末日常。当西方人的解馋方式被拉到和中国人同一个频道，说明他们已经不只是游客，而是开始在这片土地上找到自己的生活节奏了。并不是所有东西都像我们希望的那样对游客那么方便。他们很坦诚，没有把中国描绘成完美无瑕的天堂。第一个让他们头疼的是滴滴出行。
That we had in China. First thing I can think of would be not everything is quite as accessible to tourists as we'd have liked. So, for example, the DD app, we could not find a way to get the DD app to work unless we did it.
这就是中国数字生态的一体两面，极致便利，但对外来者筑起了一道无形的墙。没有中国银行卡，没搞定微信、支付宝，寸步难行。第一天坐地铁，他们对着支付宝刷码，愣是刷不出来。
In our video in Shenzhen, we tried to use the metro, and Alipay would just not come up with the metro barcode that we needed.
That was so weird. We tried with a VPN, without a VPN.
熬过第一天的新手教程，后面就豁然开朗了。但另一个难题来自信息过载。
Things kind of fall into place.
Everything is so streamlined. Another difficulty we had was the information online for a lot of the larger places is so confusing. So, for example, Zhangjiajie National Park, you've got the forest park, the bridge, the elevator, viewpoint 1, viewpoint 3, viewpoint 10. They're all so far apart, and it's so difficult to kind of wrap your head around. Being like, this is here, but this is here. Where do I book my hotel?
我都能想象他们拿着手机在酒店抓耳挠腮的样子，眼睛在天堂，脑子在地狱。但即便吃过了苦头，撞过了数字壁垒，有些本质的东西仍然在每一个细节里闪闪发光。
Everyone's watching you all the time. Be careful.
Yeah, and there's cameras everywhere. Like there are. But because of that, you are so safe, and you can.
他们把安全这个词刻进了好几个日常画面里。在成都精酿酒吧的老板把电脑和鼠标往街边桌上一扔，人就走了。快递小哥的小货车堆满包裹，开着门自己钻进巷子里送件。
His mouse and his keyboard, and he was just left. But that's just normal. Like you wouldn't dream about doing that in the UK.
There's like delivery vans that come and deliver your parcels. They'll just park up on the street, leave all the parcels there, and go and deliver.
这种安全感是具象的、可触摸的。他们甚至注意到一个细节：中国太干净了。
That was nice about China. It was also really clean.
Yeah, so clean. It was clean and it was so quiet. Like you'd walk around these mega cities and everything.
所有车都是电动的，走在路上几乎听不到引擎声。但这也带来了一个甜蜜的烦恼：外卖小哥的电动车太安静了。
Was a little bit stressful. Was walking down the pavements and not hearing like these little Meituan like delivery bikes like chung chung chung, like you would just not hear them.
Yeah.
They're a bit deadly sometimes, but yeah, overall I think for those positive experiences they were so good. Okay, now we're going to talk about what our thoughts on
真精准吐槽中国外卖小哥的战斗力，全世界独一档。而让他们真正震撼的是科技与日常的深度融合。
What our thoughts on China are from before our trip compared to after we finished our trip. So first thing I would say is I can see China overtaking the world massively in terms of technology and efficiency. Some of the tech in China I have not seen anywhere else in the world, and
这句话请划重点，科技高端，这叫秀肌肉；高端但便宜，触手可及，这叫革命。无人驾驶出租车在英国还停留在新闻稿里，在中国随手就能拦一辆。无人机送外卖不是展台上的模型，是实打实会降落的东西。这种效率本身就是一种恐怖的软实力。
Ages to get anywhere, but they have really geared up the travel infrastructure there to just get anywhere so quick.
Even you don't have to take flights, like the trains are so good. They're so nice.
这才是真正的独立思考，不靠纽约时报，不靠 BBC， 靠自己的脚、自己的胃、自己的眼睛。他们用一个最简单的逻辑击穿了洗脑言论。当我亲眼看见的和你嘴里说的对不上号，有问题的到底是我眼睛还是你的嘴？
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I was expecting our experience in China to be better than what we'd heard because most of the time.
但即便他们把视频拍得明明白白，偏见依然固若金汤。有人看到他们拍摄的漂亮酒店后留言说
There is no way that this is built by China. They must have used substandard materials. It can't be possible that we can have a hotel room that looks like this in.
这就是典型的认知失调。我不听，我不信，你发的视频肯定是假的。正如一位网友所说，当你被污蔑是收了钱的，你就知道你已经赢了。另一位网友的评论更扎心，中国不是天堂，也不是地狱，它是一个真实流淌着平凡生活的地方。这趟30天的中国行其实是一场大型的祛魅与重建，去的是西方媒体几十年精心浇灌的妖魔化毒魅，见的是对这个时代中国最朴素的客观认知。这里的夜晚你可以放心走在任何一条街，这里的食物能点燃你所有味蕾，这里的人见到你遇到困难，第一反应是掏出翻译器帮你，而不是先打量你的肤色。这个世界最大的鸿沟从来不是山河湖海，而是那扇你不愿推开的家门。当真相不再缺席，偏见才会流离失所。 如果你也想跟着各国博主一同探秘这个魔幻又真实的世界，别忘了订阅频道，点开小铃铛，顺手给视频点个赞，中外交换世界。我们评论区见。